Today, we dive into a series of fast-moving developments reshaping U.S. policy, global diplomacy, and economic dynamics. We begin with a major shift in trade policy. The White House has clarified that tariffs on Chinese imports now top 145% on many goods, surpassing the 125% figure President Trump announced just days ago. This new rate applies to a fresh wave of imports, while earlier levies like the 20% surcharge tied to China's role in the fentanyl crisis remain active. Some items, such as pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, copper, and select energy products, are still exempt. Meanwhile, earlier tariffs from Trump's first term, ranging from 7.5% to 25% on electronics, machinery, and plastics, continue to hold firm. In immigration, the Trump administration is resurrecting and expanding a long-dormant policy, this time with serious financial consequences. Migrants who remain in the U.S. after receiving final deportation orders could soon face daily fines of up to $998, potentially applied retroactively over 5 years. That means some individuals may be staring down fines exceeding $1 million. The Department of Homeland Security is urging those affected to self-deport through the CBP Home app, warning of severe penalties, including the potential seizure of property for unpaid fines. While Customs and Border Protection has been tapped to oversee enforcement, internal memos indicate that their current systems and staffing are insufficient. The Justice Department's Civil Asset Forfeiture Division is now being considered to fill the gap. Critics argue the move is less about law enforcement and more about sowing fear in vulnerable communities. On Capitol Hill, House Democrats are zeroing in on potential insider trading linked to President Trump's sudden decision to pause new tariffs. The pause sent markets soaring, just hours after Trump posted, "This is a great time to buy," DJT on Truth Social. With over $6 trillion in market value wiped out during the initial tariff rollout, the unexpected reversal raised suspicions about who may have had early knowledge. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is leading the charge, demanding transparency around any trades made before the announcement. While Democrats face hurdles in compelling information from the House minority, Jeffries warned that disclosure is inevitable. Current rules require members to report financial transactions within 30 to 45 days. Internationally, tensions with Iran are spiking once again. Tehran is threatening to expel inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency and relocate its enriched uranium to undisclosed locations, moves that would sharply limit international oversight. This threat comes amid rising fears that Iran is nearing nuclear weapons capability. The U.S. has responded with a military buildup in the region, deploying B-2 Spirit stealth bombers and ramping up air defense systems. As direct talks between U.S. and Iranian officials approach, Ayatollah Khamenei's senior advisor, Ali Shamkhani, warned that continued pressure could force Iran to act. The U.S. State Department says any move to expel inspectors would contradict Iran's claims of a peaceful nuclear program and risk a serious miscalculation. Back in Washington, the Trump administration is in early talks to hold a military parade on June 14th, a date that marks both the Army's 250th anniversary and President Trump's 79th birthday. The route under discussion begins in Arlington, Virginia, and crosses into the Capitol. Although no parade has been officially scheduled, Army officials say discussions are underway, and the event may merge with existing plans for a National Mall celebration showcasing vehicles, aircraft, and military equipment. In a legal victory for press freedom, a federal judge has ordered the Trump White House to restore the Associated Press's access to events like Oval Office briefings and Air Force One coverage. The AP lost its credentials after refusing to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, as directed by the White House. The judge's temporary injunction allows the AP to resume coverage while its lawsuit proceeds, affirming that government access cannot be restricted based on viewpoint. The AP emphasized its commitment to accurate reporting, while the White House Correspondents Association applauded the court's decision. Meanwhile, a CBS News investigation has uncovered troubling details about the deportation of Venezuelan migrants. 75% of those removed under the Alien Enemies Act had no known criminal history. One individual, a gay asylum seeker with crown tattoos, was labeled a gang member and deported to a high-security prison in El Salvador. Another, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, had legal residency in Maryland and was shielded by a court order, but was mistakenly deported anyway. A judge has since ordered the government to facilitate his return, though the Supreme Court stopped short of requiring immediate repatriation. The Justice Department now faces mounting legal challenges over due process violations tied to Trump-era immigration enforcement. Also making headlines, access to President Trump's daily intelligence briefings is being tightly controlled. Tulsi Gabbard, now Director of National Security Intelligence, is managing this access to prevent media leaks. Gabbard says she remains open to dissenting perspectives to ensure the brief is rigorously reviewed. However, the move reflects Trump's deep mistrust of the intelligence community and marks another shift in how information flows at the highest levels of government. In public health, there's a major announcement from the Department of Health and Human Services. Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says the federal government will identify the cause of autism by September. A global research initiative is underway, aimed at uncovering the environmental or biological factors driving the rise in autism diagnoses. Kennedy says the administration is committed to eliminating exposures once the causes are known, though scientists caution that the origins of autism have remained elusive, despite decades of research. Turning to the economy, inflation is continuing to cool. U.S. inflation dropped to 2.4% in March, down from 2.8% the month before, marking the lowest rate since September. Core prices also rose at their slowest pace in nearly 4 years. Gas prices declined, leading to the first overall monthly price drop since early 2020. However, economists warn that existing tariffs, despite a 90-day pause, could still push prices higher in the coming months. And finally, the FDA is preparing to move away from animal testing in drug development. A new initiative will replace traditional tests with AI-based models and other human-relevant methods. The shift is expected to accelerate development of monoclonal antibody therapies and other innovative treatments, while reducing ethical concerns and boosting efficiency. In foreign policy, a key diplomatic change is unfolding in Eastern Europe. Bridget Brink, U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, is stepping down. Brink has served since May 2022, guiding the embassy through intense wartime conditions and shifting U.S. strategies. Her departure comes as the Trump administration pursues new negotiations with Russia and Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has expressed disappointment in the embassy's response to recent Russian strikes. The State Department acknowledged the uncertainty Brink's exit brings, despite her strong record of service. That's all for tonight's news update. Thank you for joining us. We'll continue to monitor these stories and bring you the latest developments. Stay safe, stay informed, and have a good night. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update.